Hi guys, it's Ben here from T-Rex Space Station. How's everyone doing? This is Gunbird on the Sega Saturn, a game that sadly I have to play on the embarrassing, very easy mode, as opposed to the child or even monkey mode, which is just even more degrading to the ego to play on. It's just a very hard game that unfortunately I do really struggle to play on any difficulty level higher than this one. It's a game that takes a lot of practice, but it's so much fun. Now, for some reason today, I don't know if it's just today, but my capture card doesn't seem to want to behave with the Sega Saturn at all. I have no idea why, but it's displaying everything really darkly, and I've pissed around with the settings loads and tried to tweak the contrast and tweak various different things, but all of them just ended up looking really crappy. So, yes, for this video, until I can figure something else out, I'm recording the Saturn in the old, well tried and tested, pointing the camera at the screen method. Which I know quite a few people do, and it seems to work for them, but it's something that if you don't do often, it can be a bit tedious and annoying, because you need to practice exactly where to put the camera. And yeah, I just hope that it turns out looking alright. Yeah, I don't know why it is that the Saturn's looking so dark, because I've just got a really nice RGB cable for it that's making it look really crisp on the telly. But for some reason it's having adverse effects on how it actually looks with the card. You would have thought that would make it look better, but alas, no. Yeah, I remember this boss being a little bit hairy. There's a lot of stuff that starts coming at you now. Now, the cool thing about this game, well, several cool things, but one of the things I really like is the fact that you can have two different attacks. There's obviously this one where I'm just auto-spamming the lighter attack, and there's the heavier attack, which, oh yeah, this is the bit where it gets a bit hairy. There's the heavier attack where you can essentially save it up, like that, and it launches like quite a big blaster thing. Oh, there we go, taking down two arms. And it is, I guess you could call this game a bullet hell shooter, couldn't you? There's just a lot of things going on screen that you've got to, look out for and try and avoid. Certainly if you're playing it on any levels apart from like very easy, the number of bullets really ramps up very quickly. And you just find yourself in hot water, or at least I do. And yes, I've been enjoying getting back into my Sega Saturn shooters after my special Hori Fighting Stick arrived, which I ordered from eBay of all places. It wasn't cheap, but if you want a proper arcade stick, it's not going to be cheap. This is one that has proper responsive clicky controls. That's the best way I can describe it. I think it's switch based, isn't it? Would be the proper way of describing it. And yeah, you can tell the difference. Hey, it's a one-off investment. I'm probably not gonna buy any more of them. I don't see why I would need two. It's the first time I've actually bought a proper stick for one of my consoles. Not really something I've been into in the past, but since I'm collecting a lot of shooters, it just seemed like a good thing to do. And it certainly adds to that arcade experience. This boss, I think this one is actually quite tough. Already see there's a slight increase in the number of crazy things flying around the screen. Shouldn't be too bad though. Each of the bosses have like destructible parts that you need to kind of get rid of to make the firing mode change. And now he takes off into the sky. Let's give him a charged attack to the face. Yeah, you really do need to use the charge attack if you want to do any reasonable amounts of damage. Oh gosh, I'll try and charge one up. Oh, and no, I didn't. I thought I'd missed him for a second with that one. He wasn't too bad. One of the things I need to get into the habit of in these games is using my bombs properly. For some reason, I always seem really hesitant to use them and then just dying. It's like, well, it would be better to use your bombs than just to actually take enough hits and die. The cool thing about the game as well is that the first 4 areas are kind of randomized, so you don't know which order you're going to get them in, which is nice. It just adds a little bit of variety each time you're playing and mixes things up a little bit, which is always a good thing, isn't it? I think after you've completed the first 4 stages though, the rest of the levels are, oh gosh, hairy, the rest of the levels are then set, and they get a lot more difficult after you get through the provisional 4. Oh shit, he says, right on time, dying. Like all of these kind of arcade style shooters, it gives you a little bit of an introduction, and then it just gets really hard really quickly. Now, you do need to keep yourself maximally powered up if you want to do well. I mean, once you die, you lose your power-ups, and become much more vulnerable Yeah, you really do need to try and keep them... Oh, that's the worst thing about this boss. If you're not on your toes at the beginning, you just end up getting trapped in the corner by that spread fire shot. There's a little gap there just to try and get through. You need to keep moving with that one. And then he emerges into this kind of knight-headed thing. I think that it has a lance. Yep, lance expands out, fires crazy fireballs at you. So, yeah, I mean, even on the easy modes, this is challenging. I mean, I've already died like 2 or 3 times. I mean, I am speaking while playing, but, you know, even on this mode, I will have to use continues relatively frequently. Because it's just, yeah. Oh, God. Right on cue, there's one continue used already. It's just a lot going on. It's really hard to play this game and speak, I've got to say. But yeah, I'm not really... Fuck's sake! I'm not really using any bombs at the moment because, well, you don't learn the patterns if you just use bombs. I think it's much better to practice for now. Right, this next one's quite tough. Yeah. This one you really have to be on your toes with, and the boss at the end of it is solid. Maybe I should be playing the game on child setting until I can beat it without losing lives on that setting and then move up. I don't know what the best thing to do is. It's just, there's quite a big difference. Like, that level seems far too easy, and this level is a bit too hard. I need something in between. As though 6 difficulty settings isn't enough. It's just all about practice, isn't it? I mean, it has been quite a while since I picked this up and started playing it again. It's just about knowing when you've got enough time to charge up a proper attack, and knowing when you should be using the faster but less powerful small attacks. Oh, you knew I was going to end up dying there, didn't you? Oh, and I've used too many continues, and now got to restart the level. Hopefully I'll do slightly better this time. There is no guarantee, though. Yeah, so it was only until Custado was chatting to me at Play Expo that I realised that the actual official Sega Saturn joystick was kind of shit. I nearly bought one. There was one there. It wasn't that cheap. I think it was at least 20 quid. Didn't realise that they were rubbish. So thanks for saving my ass there. I would have wasted some money on something crappy. Well, this joystick is really, really cool. Maybe I'll do a review of it sometime. Who knows? Do people like watching reviews of joysticks? I suppose that would be something useful. I certainly haven't seen that much of that on YouTube. Well, not lately anyway. Right, this time I should try and move to the side a bit, rather than taking the full brunt of that guy's lasers. I'm not sure what collecting coins does. I think it just adds a bit of score, and if you get over a certain score threshold, you get a continue point, I think. Something like that anyway. I'm not really good enough to be worrying about my score. I'm more worrying about staying alive for slightly longer than a minute. Yeah, before the boss appears, you always get this section where they fire loads of rockets at you. Right, this boss is a big crazy warship, and it's hard. It certainly gets very spammy in terms of rockets. You need to try and take out the turrets as fast as you can, I think. Try and take out each of the composite areas that are shooting. You see what I'm saying? So bloody many of them. Need that power up. So this guy is a bit lighter on the firepower, but he's also much faster. And so I kind of think that it's better to have a bit of movability when you're a bit... Fuck's sake. When you're a bit suckier. Okay, then it goes into the second mode. It's like a flying bat thing. I'll try and take out the wings as fast as I can, because the pattern can be quite hard to dodge if there's two wings alive at the same time, if that's the right word to use. It's just a lovely game. I love the art style. I love the fact that there are 5, different characters to choose from, which just gives you a nice bit of adaptability. And it's just really Japanese anime style, isn't it? Oh god. I knew I wasn't going to beat that boss. Anyway, that's about 10 minutes. I'll leave it there. This is Gunbird on the Sega Saturn. Fantastic game, and one you should definitely check out. Take care, guys, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye!